the Hobgoblin army stands before the pitiful ragtag human defenders. They raise their bows and fire a volley of arrows towards the humans, a volley so thick it blots out the sun itself. From amongst the human defenders, one man dashes forward, hopping hither and thither, dodging every single arrow as the black shafts pierce the rest of the humans, killing men all around. The one hero dashes forth. He runs up the hill to meet the Ogre Mage General of the Hobgoblin army itself. He flips over his head and plunges his dagger into the back of the Ogre Mage. The mage falls to his knees and gurgles out, "Oh, how is this even possible?" The man looks down at the dying Ogre Mage and whispers, "It was simple. I'm level 20, bitch." So, 20th level characters, high level characters, epic level characters. I was talking with Andrew Wood of Wood WWAD about high level characters and who is high level in popular culture. Like what does it mean to be 20th level in a campaign setting? And it's a very interesting question. I started thinking about it because I've never GM'd up to these levels, and so I've never exactly had to deal with epic level characters. But I started thinking about how I would handle it. So first, I had to ask myself, who is level 20? And if you look to the ancient myths, of Greece, we have Perseus and Theseus, and they've killed one monster each, a Medusa and a Minotaur respectively, and so they're not first level, but they're not even close to 20th. Even if you look at Hercules, he's taken one massively epic action in which he holds the pillars of the earth up for Atlas himself, even for a short while. But the rest of his 12 labors aren't level 20. The slaying of the Nemean lion. That's pretty much a dire lion that was immune to both slashing and piercing damage. This is something that D&D characters could come up against at any time. The Stymphalian birds were pretty much just harpies wearing full plate. They're made of metal. And then he slew a Hydra with his cousin Aeolus. But what's a 7-headed Hydra? I think it's challenge rating 7 in D&D 3.5. And he impregnated all 50 daughters of this one king in one night. But that's like a 3rd level bard ability, so it's not even close to 20th. If we look to fantasy literature and fantasy movies, who's level 20 there? You think about Aragorn, and he probably starts the trilogy at level 4 or 5. He's got 4 or 5 levels of Ranger, and he probably gains 2 more levels of Fighter throughout the trilogy because he's in these enormous battles, he's in all these wars, so he needs, he needs to gain levels in Fighter and be a commander and things like that. Then you have Legolas, and he's probably the same level, though he does show off his superhuman dexterity. And Gimli is probably about the same level, and he shows off his superhuman ability not to get any respect throughout the entire trilogy. Poor guy. And then you have Conan of Cimmeria. He has fighter levels, thief levels, barbarian levels, but they still probably total about 8 or 10. He's very powerful, but he's not going to take on an entire hobgoblin army and snatch the life out of the ogre mage that leads it. So I was thinking, where are the level 20 characters? And I think you can find them in some anime, and you can find them in superhero comics, and you can find them in some video games, like Afro Samurai in his anime. He's definitely a level 20 fighter. He's slaying foes with the greatest of ease all over the place. And his major challenges are, supernaturally powerful characters, just like himself. The Incredible Hulk, from comics, he could give the Tarrasque a run for his money. He could fight a dragon in hand to hand. So Hulk is probably level 20 or more. And then for video games, the character of Kratos from the God of War series. He's beyond 20. He's killing gods, he's killing titans, and he's killing all manner of mythical beasts of every size, shape, and color throughout his series. So those characters are level 20, but you know, there are exceptions, and these characters they're beyond larger than life. They're larger than epic. And if that's the style that you're running your campaign, then you're good to go. You can just use D&D's rules as written, go from 1 to 20, and you know, become this amazingly powerful character and forge your own legend with you know, with amazing deeds. But what if your campaign, you're taking a more realistic approach to fantasy? And an oxymoron, I know, but you have a lower magic setting, you know, something more realistic like we see in Lord of the Rings, or that we see in the Conan series, or that we see in, you know, in Westeros, something like that. You know, how can a 20th level or just a high level character, how do they interact with that world? Do they have a place in that world at all? And I think, you know, even in these low magical settings, ironically, it's the divine and the arcane characters that do fit in the best at high level, because when they do an amazing feat and someone says, "Oh, how could this be?" the answer is always, "Well, they have magic, so they can do all kinds of crazy things." You know, look at this cleric. He used to be a worshiper of Thor, and now he's so powerful that Thor is starting to worship him. You know, they ease into the 20th level territories easier. So that got me to thinking, how do I portray a level 20 rogue or fighter, someone that doesn't have magical levels? You know, how can they be level 20 in a realistic manner? And I don't think that they can. I think that when a character is this high level, no matter what, they're going to be supernatural. They're going to be empowered. You know, once they start getting so high level, they're going to be empowered by something metaphysical. You know, when a 20th level rogue has her pickpocket so high that she can snatch a man's tongue out of his mouth in mid-conversation, and he doesn't even notice. He just keeps going, you know, talking to her. That's when the laughing god, Oli Damara, has given her his blessing for this mischief. You know, when the rogue's hide check is so high between her skill levels and her equipment that it's like plus 40. You know, that's when the shadows themselves wrap about her and coalesce around her and embrace her as one of their own. And when the fighter's skill at forging a weapon is so high at level 20, and he's pounding that blade, then Hephaestus himself comes down and gives that fighter a shoulder massage and a reach around, because such is his power and such is his grace at 20th level. That's how I feel that I would have to portray a 20th level character. At some point, they've gained so much experience, so much power, that they have transcended humanity. They can't really be called human anymore. They are divinely powered, arcanely empowered, psionically empowered. There is something that has brought them above human. You know, a 20th level fighter who's simply gotten there by the strength of his muscles alone, I don't think that would be realistic. You know, someone can't destroy an entire army of invading orcs single-handedly, which a 20th level fighter could do. They couldn't do that without some sort of empowerment from the supernatural. And so that's how I feel that, well, that's what 20th level means to me. They have transcended humanity, just as the monk actually has this. When they become 20, they have become an outsider. To me, any 20th level character has just become beyond the beyond. So that's what 20th level means to me. That's how I would find myself having to go about portraying it, even in a realistic or low magic setting. Like, they have become something else, something beyond human. So how would you portray a 20th level character? And what does 20th level and what do epic levels, what do they mean to you? Thank you for watching.